Shabbat Shalom, CBST. Happy Pride. Happy Juneteenth. Go Knicks. So much joy. There's so much love here. There's so much joy. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so deeply honored. It's a kavod gadol, it's zchut gdola to speak here in this kehila kedosha, in this holy community, in this holy and sacred place. I'm deeply and profoundly honored to be here with you, especially on this Shabbat, Friends and Family Shabbat. It's such a historic and important Shabbat in the life of the community and an inspiration to all of us what world we can create. In this Family and Friends Shabbat, the legend goes that this community invited people from outside, straight people, family and friends, to come and share and celebrate this community, affirm it, celebrate it, love it. And some came out during this very Shabbat, and some avoided this Shabbat because they didn't want to be outed. Some who were not yet free to be who they fully are. This community emerged in a Jewish world, in a broader society that was intolerant and imposed a social and professional and communal costs and consequences simply for being open about who you are and loving who you love. A world where many people were told they could not be fully Jewish and fully gay and lesbian and bisexual, trans and queer. Much has changed since those days here in CBST, in the Jewish community in Israel, and all around. But I would like to take this moment and speak to those watching this recording or live stream who are not yet free to live openly as they fully beautiful and sacred selves. To those harmed by hundreds of anti-trans laws pushed across this country, to those facing restrictions on gender-affirming care, to those whose lives and identities are being politicized and criminalized, to all who feel excluded from their families, their Jewish spaces, all spaces, because of who they are. Please know this. You are loved exactly as you are. You are not alone. Better days will come. You deserve a world where you can live in full visibility with dignity and beauty. Every gender identity deserves safety, affirmation, and love. This sacred community right here is proof that radical change is possible, that another world is possible, and it is on all of us to help bring that world into being, and we will not stop until everyone is free and safe. B'meira b'yameinu. May this come in our days. Trans and queer liberation is profoundly connected to all liberation because of a sacred truth. There is no liberation except collective liberation. Just as we cannot separate trans rights for human rights, all rights, we cannot separate Israeli and American Jewish safety from Palestinian safety. Our futures, our fates are deeply intertwined. This beloved community has played a central role in my own Jewish story, in my own Jewish journey. Thank you, Rabbi Yael. Thank you, Rabbi Melissa, Cantor Rosen, Sam, and Joyce. Thank you so much, choir. It is such a beautiful service. It fills my heart with joy and faith and connection to the divine, to my soul. I am an Israeli Jew. This is something I feel important to say in every space after October 7. Growing up in Israel as a secular Jew, I often experienced Judaism as I met it predominantly as a force of exclusion, oppression, and regression, particularly regarding LGBTQ rights, Palestinian rights, and women's rights. It was here in America that I was introduced and discovered a Judaism rooted in justice for all, repair, compassion for all, and liberation. During that journey, one that helped shape my Jewish identity and enriched my life, grounded my work, and sustained me in this difficult work of Israeli-Palestinian peace building. I met one of the most greatest American rabbis our people are blessed to have. You might have heard of her, Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum. Rabbi Sharon and this very community taught me how deeply our tradition speaks to the struggle for a more just and free world. In the streets, in the shul, and in complicated Jewish and interfaith spaces, Rabbi Kleinbaum showed me how faith and action can guide us through difficult moral challenges and struggles, and that our Jewish tradition is not only compatible with this struggle, it deepens and strengthens it. I experienced it at CBST Epic Yom Kippur services that we started to go to at the convention center, surrounded by hundreds of Jews, and hearing a Dvar Torah that explicitly challenged us not merely to pray and atone, but to act, to defend democracy, to protect our rights, the rights of others, in stark words delivered from the Biba at the holiest day, connected to this holy feeling of connection to my people and to God. I deeply cherish marching and protesting and advocating with members of this community, often with my partner in crime, dear Rabbi Marissa, MEJ, who recited the prayer at my wedding, by the way. Thank you for that. We would pray with our feet in the streets of New York and Washington, D.C. for justice, for racial justice, for economical justice, for justice for all. And we would do it with a spirit of kindness and joy I do so deeply appreciate about this community. Tonight I'm wearing a kippah that Rabbi Sharon gave me after an iftar meal we shared together in Palestine with my binational community of Israeli and Palestinian peace activists, combatants for peace, a movement I'm honored to serve here in America as president of American Friends. Our movement organizes some of the largest peace gatherings in the land, the joint memorial ceremony, and now the joint Nakba ceremony. CBST was one of the first synagogues to ever host a screening of the joint memorial ceremony, and we are eternally grateful for that. Our movement mourns together, we resist together, we protest together, we celebrate together. It is a movement grounded in nonviolence, our shared humanity and co-resistance to all systems of oppression, a radical act to both societies, to both peoples. We model, cultivate, and imagine another future, a future where everyone living in the Holy Land is safe and free from occupation, terror, violence, hatred, and supremacy, a future we are manifested in the present as part of a growing ecosystem of Israelis and Palestinians who no longer believe in the us versus them, in domination, violence, or hate. Organizations like Standing Together and Land for All and Shared Society and Human Rights and Protective Presence work. Being together, we believe. Being together can and does create relationships, culture, language, and politics of a world waiting to be born. When the time comes, and the time will come, it will come, and the people are ready, an infrastructure should already exist, so people can see what is possible if we only dare to dream and imagine and manifest the new world. After receiving this kippah, I went to pray at the Kotel. It was during the judicial coup before October 7, when the Israeli government was attempting to undermine the courts and weaken democratic institutions as part of the authoritarian rise in Israel. My kippah was confiscated at the entrance because it was considered political provocation. My very Judaism became a provocation in the holy city, in the Holy Land. I did get it back, and I cherish it. Fighting for Israeli democracy, I joined my friends at the anti-occupation bloc, who insisted on reminding the Israeli society that there is no such thing as democracy with occupation. That this system of oppression denies Palestinians freedom, dignity, and future will ultimately threaten the freedom and future of all Jews, because they are profoundly interconnected. Here in New York, inspired by anti-occupation bloc in the land, we started organizing Israelis under the same banner. And then October 7 happened. After October 7, as many of us did, I felt betrayed and dehumanized by parts of the American left and parts of the justice movement. Never by my Palestinian partners in the land, but by Americans that I thought shared my commitment to collective liberation and human dignity. I was not a stranger to dehumanization. I had seen over the years and fought with my entire being. Big parts of my own Israeli and American Jewish community deny, minimize, and justify Palestinian suffering, the occupation, and demonize Palestinian identity itself. But I never experienced it directed at me. Some people were minimizing, denying, and even justifying the massacre of October 7. For so many of us, it destroyed relationships, friendships, and coalitions. Being dehumanized breaks something in you. And I would argue it corrupts those practicing it. When we dehumanize others, we diminish our own humanity. No matter how just the cause, dehumanizing will ultimately corrupt any movement and any community. I found myself with many of my fellow Israeli activists trapped in a binary world. A world demanding that we choose sides. A world where one child's life is considered more valuable than another's. A world where mass killing of entire communities is justified. A world where some spaces insisted that we could only grieve for Israelis murdered on October 7 and the hostages, while others insisted we would only grieve for Palestinians being killed in Gaza and brutalized in the West Bank. As Israeli organizing in New York, our community was lost. A space where we could hold, we needed a space where we could be fully ourselves. A space where we could fully hold the humanity of both Palestinians and Israelis. A space that rejects the binary logic of sides in algorithms. We chose humanity, not sides. The humanity of everyone living between the river and the sea. A space where we can uphold the truth that only peace and equality will bring security and freedom. We created Israelis for Peace, and together began vigils where we read testimonies from October 7th survivors, hostage families, Palestinians in Gaza, and Palestinians in the West Bank. Together with Friends of Standing Together, these vigils grew and became protests, calling for the hostage deal against the war and mass daily killing and expulsion of Palestinians. We hosted hostage families, Palestinian partners that live under occupation, rabbis who were Zionist and anti-Zionist, and many others, many who told us they had no other place to go. On the second anniversary, commemorating October 7, we had the honor of hosting Mayor Mamdani, who was not yet mayor at the time, but who chose to stand with Israelis on that very painful day. That meant a great deal to me. A few weeks ago, I had the able to thank him, again, personally, when he honored me and Trua at the gala celebrating Jewish justice work. I believe now is the time to build bridges and cultivate wide coalitions and reject the voices of division and separation that call us to decouple our safety from the freedom of others' communities. Those who calling us to walk away from justice works, those who calling us to walk away from each other. But we will not walk away from our work for justice like we will not walk away from our Jewish community, because we are all in this together. There is no other way. There is no other truth. I will forever be grateful to this CBST community for welcoming Israelis and Palestinian peace builders. From Combatants for Peace, Suleiman Khatib, who was here, the co-founder of our movement, and my mentor, Iris Gul, from Standing Together, Sally, and Rula, and Alon Lee. I brought this photo from my exhibition. The love we got here when it was hard, when the world required us to reject sides, CBST didn't. And forever I'll be grateful for this community, for this home, for this opportunity to do peace. And I will forever cherish marching with Rabbi Sharon Kleibaum at Pride. She carried a sign. She carries a sign that read, "This rabbi loves Palestinians and Israeli Jews." A radical message. We didn't know how it's going to take, given the rise of anti-Semitism and hate on the streets, but we received with love and cheers and acceptance. The people of New York loved this message. I saw it with my own eyes. It was beautiful. I like to end with two quotes and a blessing to this beautiful and holy community, my friends. One of the quotes is from the third annual People's Peace Summit that took place this year under the theme in Tel Aviv. The second one was in Jerusalem. The third one was in Tel Aviv. The theme was, it must be, it can be, it will be peace, organized by It's Time Coalition, a coalition of now more than 80 civil society organizations made up of Israelis and Palestinians who no longer believe that war and occupation will keep us safe and bring together thousands of peace builders, human rights activists, shared society organizations, community leaders, Knesset members, and everyday people who believe in peace. Nearly half of the speakers were Palestinian citizens of Israel, and ones live under occupation, and the ones from Gaza. Like we see during the joint memorial ceremony, the system doesn't like us to come together, even for peace. Palestinians are denied entry, so we have to do it through videos, rely on technology to be together, but to be together we insist. I'd like to read you a quote from Israeli trans rights activist Omer Elad, a speaker at the summit, who said, "My name is Omer Elad. I'm a social worker, a parent, and transgender. Trans people live on the seam between what society allows and what it punishes. The struggle of the trans community is fundamental struggle for freedom, the right to define ourselves, to move through the world without fear, and to have access to safety and resources. The same mechanism of control, delegitimization, and exclusion used against us operate in wider context as well. For us, there is no real separation between trans rights and the broader struggle for freedom, justice, and peace for all. The other quote is from my dear friend and peace partner, Aziza Busara, who together with Maoz Yinon wrote the bestseller, The Future is Peace. I recommend you read it. It's quite extraordinary. And his quote is, "If you must divide us, don't divide us between Israelis and Palestinians, Muslims and Jews. Let it be as those who believe in peace, justice, and equality, and those who don't yet." Beautiful quote by Aziz. And I'd like to end this beautiful, beautiful honor of letting me speak to you here today with a blessing. It's a blessing from Torata, the regendered Torah that my wife and partner, Yael Kanarek, created and leads. It's the Torah regendered. So this is the priestess's blessing. תברכך תהובה ותשמרך. תאר תהובה פניה אלייך ותחונקי. תישא תהובה פניה אלייך ותשם לך שלום. May Tehovah bless you and guard you. May Tehovah shines her face towards you and grace you. May Tehovah lift up her face up toward you and grant you peace. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Pride. I love you so much. Thank you for being in this world. Thank you for showing us the way. Thank you, CBST. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Yael. Thank you, Rabbi James.